Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl. Today I'm going to be planting mostly pretty much flowers today. So I have 3 flats set up, ready to start some more flower seeds. I'm starting off on this tray is going to be Verbena. I really love Verbena. This is not a trailing variety of Verbena, it's an upright variety. And I have exactly enough seeds to fill up these 3 cells. And in each cell, I'm putting 6 seeds. And I counted out my seeds because sometimes I'm anal that way and I want to know exactly how much I am going to be able to plant. With Verbena, you're only going to plant them 1/8 of an inch deep. I've already marked my holes with the tip of my Sharpie pen. And then once I put the seeds in each spot, then I will just push the dirt over the little indent that I've made. And I actually took my old soil from last year. I had the which one is it? The Sunshine Mix number 4. And I mixed it with a new mix that I ended up picking up from Art Nap. They had made their own seedling mix. And it's really nice and light. Very little pieces of perlite in the soil. So I'm just going to cover in these spots where I have planted the seeds. And this is, what one is this? This is a burgundy Verbena. Next Verbena that I'm going to be planting, and I have a lot of seeds of this one, is the Florist mix. And with me only putting 1 seed in each hole, then I won't have to separate them up. So, and then once I get this tray filled up, then we'll move on to the next. Each of the trays that I'm doing have different growing instructions for them. Once we're finished starting all these seeds, then I'm going to show you some of seeds have sprouted, and I will bring you along and show you that too. I'm just covering the last of the Verbena seeds that I've planted. And then we're going to take this over to my seed starting stand. This is the Verbena that I've just planted, and I've put it on this tray up on the top shelf. I don't have my lights turned on up here because I already have a tray with pansy seeds that I've started, and they need to be in darkness. Same with the Verbena seeds. I'm going to put a cover. I've got these on a heat mat with Verbena. They do need bottom heat for the seeds to germinate. Plus, I need to put these in total darkness. So I'm just taking an old tray, one that leaks, and I've put tape on it to plug the hole. I'm going to use that one as my cover for my Verbena. So then I will just cover this one and it will be in total darkness. And then after a few days, I'll start checking on it on a regular basis to see once they've sprouted, then I will take the cover off and I'll turn the lights on. This is what I need to be doing to have a better success rate for my Verbena seeds. Next, seeds that I'm going to be starting are Snapdragons. I have 3 varieties of Snapdragons. This first variety is called the Mini Snap Mix, and they get anywhere from 10 to 12 inches high, so not huge. All I'm doing is gonna grab a the seeds are pretty small, so I usually try to make sure I have at least 3 seeds on my finger, and I just drag it off the plate and I'm just dropping it on top of the soil. With the Snapdragons, you do not cover the seeds. This is the best way for them to successfully germinate, is just by dropping the seeds right on the soil. And what happens when the seeds take, I usually split the plants up into individual pots, waste any of them. So even though it doesn't seem like I'm doing very many, I end up with quite a few because I have anywhere from 3 to 4 seeds in each spot. The variety of Snapdragon is called the Mardi Gras Snapdragon. A Mardi Gras Snapdragon is anywhere from 20 to 30 inches high. This is one of my husband's favorite flowers that I grow, and I like to have them in different heights. That way with the small ones you can put them in the front and have taller varieties in behind, whereas these, with them being anywhere from 20 to 30 inches tall, they could be a mid focal point or they could be in the back, depending on how you have your flower gardens or baskets or hanging baskets set up. With taller varieties, I would probably put them in the middle of the hanging basket and then have a smaller variety of flower in front of that, and then maybe have a trailer along the edge of a hanging basket, and that would look really nice too. Okay, this last variety of Snapdragon is called the Rainbow Mix. These Snapdragons get up to 24 inches high, so again, a taller variety, mixed colors as well. And I really love growing the Snapdragons. I have a really good success rate with Snapdragons. They seem to do quite well for me. Once I get these planted, the seeds planted, then with Snapdragons, there's nothing that you have to do except for put them under the lights. I will put a dome on top of these just to increase the humidity, and that will also help with the germination of the seeds. And this whole tray is going to be petunias. The first petunia that I have is a dwarf mix. It's just a single flower petunia that I like mixed colors, and they have to be planted 1/8 of an inch deep. So these seeds are very tiny, and I'm just grabbing like 3 seeds and just plunking them in each of the spots. With the petunia seeds, I will be putting a dome over these, but I will be putting them on a heat mat. That is something that you will need to do with petunias. They still need the light, but they definitely need the heat from underneath, and that helps with the germination of the seeds. And again, like the Snapdragons, once they sprout and they're about anywhere from 1/2 of an inch to an inch, then I will separate them out and put them into their own spot in another tray. This is a double glorious petunia mix. I love the double flowers on petunias. And these ones are actually have a pelleted coating on them, which makes them a lot easier to handle. So it has a yellow pelleted coating, which is just a clay coating on the seed. So super easy. They roll around a lot more, but a lot easier to handle. And I'm just putting one seed in each spot because it is pelleted. It makes it easy to find, and knowing that you're actually putting the seed or a seed in the hole. These petunias, how tall do they get? These ones get 12 to 15 inches tall. Last petunia is a tidal wave silver. I really like these. These are so pretty. And it's funny, these seeds are pelleted, but they came in this little kind of clear capsule, something that you would have medicine in. It came in that, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to keep that. There are 10 seeds, so I'm not going to quite get as many of these. And because they're a wave petunia, they're a little more pricey than your other petunias. So for 10 seeds, I paid $5 for 10 seeds. But, I mean, I love the wave petunias, so I don't mind spending the extra money if it's really something that I enjoy. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to spend the extra money if it brings you joy. I will cover up all the holes now, and then I have enough room here to be able to plant another set of seeds as well. I'm going to be planting my St. John's Fire Salvia. I love that too. And these are quite large seeds compared to what I have been dealing with. Again, 1/8 of an inch for these. Now Salvia, how tall do they get? They get 10 to 12 inches tall. Okay. So with the petunias, I have a heat mat underneath. I've put a dome over top. These are a new dome that I've purchased, and they have little air vents in here. So if I'm finding that it's getting too much moisture, I can open up these air vents. So that's a pretty cool feature on this dome. And then these were my Snapdragons. They just need the light, and I put a dome on that do not need the heat mat, as opposed to the petunias and the salvia. 3 more varieties of seeds that I'm going to be starting. This one is lupines. I love lupines. They're a nice tall flower. These ones get 30 to 48 inches high, so that's quite tall. With the recommendation of lupines, you're supposed to soak the seeds 24 hours before planting them. So I have soaked these ones. I started soaking them yesterday. So they're a fairly good sized seed, and they are to be planted 1/4 of an inch deep. And I only soaked 12 seeds because I knew that was at the very most, that's all I really need. Lupines will reseed themselves into the ground. If you do not want lupines everywhere, the trick to not having them reseed all over is to deadhead the lupines. I just take a pair of pruners or some scissors, and I cut the flower heads off once they're finished flowering, or they will dry up, and those seeds will basically explode onto the ground, and you will have lupines coming up everywhere. I mean, you could do that and just dig them up and give them to friends. That would work as well. Over here on this side, I am going to be planting some Lobelia. This is a Crystal Palace Lobelia. I like having these in planters as border around the edge. I like the way that they drape over. These ones are super fine seeds. You do not cover the seeds. Whatever I get, I can always split these up, or they can be grown in a cluster as well. You just don't want it to be too bombarded with those seeds. So it has 4 inches, so not tall at all. Definitely a good border flower that you could use. Dusty Miller. This is another plant that I love planting. It doesn't flower, but it is a great for greenery. Don't always need to have a flowering plant. I have said in previous videos that the deer do not like Dusty Miller. So if that's what you want to plant to keep the deer from eating your plants, there's something to think about when purchasing or starting your own plants. Deer do not like it. They also are a little bit on the frost hardy side. I had a few light frosts and they did not seem to affect the Dusty Miller. So another good little fun fact about Dusty Miller. These, again, you just plant them on the surface of the soil. They don't need to be covered, and that way the light gets to them and the germination rate is higher if you don't cover them. So taking a look here on some of the things that have sprouted, this here is the lemongrass. And I was saying I haven't been very successful growing lemongrass, but now that I have these couple of little sprouts, I have another one over here on this side, and I've just put some water in the bottom of my tray to soak up, but I'm going to be sprinkling some of the vermiculite around the plants, and that helps keep the plants dry around the base of them, but the roots are able to soak up that moisture. I have some thyme, or no, yeah, this is thyme. I have a few sprouts coming in here, but nothing on this side as of yet. But I am going to take some of this vermiculite, and again, I'm going to sprinkle it around my thyme. And then I noticed in the back I have some rosemary coming up as well. And I'm going to do the same in the back with my rosemary. Right there I have a sprout in behind. So I'm just going to sprinkle this around the rosemary. And hopefully that'll help with my plants. Then here, there's my dahlias going, and then beside my dahlias, these are my shallots, and they have already sprouted. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sprouts so far. And then if I come over here, just going to pick this one up. This is my artichoke. So it has sprouted. So I have one there. And then I have 2 more in this one. So super excited about the artichokes. Other than that, this is the frontier onions, and I have a couple of sprouts here and there. that's it for the frontier. And then if we come down over here, these are the Walla Walla onions. And as you can see, I have some sprouts there, a couple more coming in here, over there, another one in the front. And these are the Elsa Craig onions, same thing. I have a few shoots that have come up. These actually took about 2 weeks to sprout. Then here I just planted those. That was the Lupines, the Lobelia, and the Dusty Miller. And I've just tucked those in beside. There's my microgreens. Just tuck those in between those two. Up above this are the petunias we just planted, and the Snapdragons that I've planted. I was talking with my sister this morning, and she was telling me some of the plants that she has started. They were in Australia for 6 weeks, and she just got back, and so she's on a frenzy getting her seeds planted. I don't blame her. If I was just coming back, I'd be like, I've already started my seeds. Like, I've already started some, what, 2-3 weeks ago? So, no, 2 weeks ago. So we were talking about some of the ones that she has started, and she told me that she has started Bacopa. I haven't never tried Bacopa before, and she had made notes in her book that when she does the Bacopa for this year, to actually start it a week or two sooner than she did last year, because she noticed that they weren't as far along as some of the other plants that she had did. So it's good to, you know, talk to other people and find out what has worked for them and take those into consideration, because like I say, I haven't planted Bacopa before, but I did buy a white Bacopa and a purple Bacopa, I think it is. So I'm going to be starting those as well. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.